Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So today we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. So I don't think any collector right now can deny the fact that this Nissan Skyline R34, the RLC release in blue, has gone up in value substantially and is continuing to peak in price. So today I just wanted to capture my thoughts on what's causing that price spike and how much can we anticipate this car to keep going up. So just to give you guys perspective, I purchased this car back in September of 2021 for $237 off eBay, and that was shipped with taxes. I would say that right around the end of the year, so right around that December, January time frame, I recall this car spiking again up to about the $330, $350 range. And then present day, April 2022, we all know and have seen that this car has gone well into the $400 range. So let's get this car out of packaging so that we can get a better look and just get a better overall feel and understanding as to why this car is continuing to peak in value. So here it is out of pack in this gorgeous Spectra Flame blue, which is very reminiscent of the signature color of the R34 Bayside blue. This RLC release has all the right details. I mean, painted exhaust, the taillights, headlights, all the side decals. It does have some pretty unique features too. So the first one being that this is the only time I've ever seen this on two, but it does have disc brakes. So they're just painted onto the body. You can kind of see a little bit better if I flip it like this, but you can see it's just, and it's interesting because this base is actually casted. It has those little extra circular divots right there, right behind the wheel, so that you get that full circle of the disc brake, and it sits right behind the wheel there. So I don't know how clearly you can see it in the image there, but it's there. So again, I've never seen that replicated again on any other RLC release. The other feature is that it does have an opening hood. So once open, it does expose the RB26D TT, which we all know and love. That's just, again, such a signature piece of the R34. So it's very clear to see why this car is so popular. All the details, how clean this car is, the execution, keeping everything very OEM, not very Hot Wheel themed to crazy graphics and crazy colors, just keeping it very clean, very subtle. Probably a release that'll never be replicated ever again. You know, I can imagine if they're ever going to re-release this car, which we are going to see here in 2022, we're going to see the chrome one with the ghost graphics of the Hot Wheels on the side, which I'm not a fan of. However, it does have the really nice Nismo graphics. I mean, that's how we're going to see it moving forward. We're going to see really extreme graphics, nothing that's going to be clean OEM, Bayside blue, just like this. So it's not only the blue RLC that is going up in value, so the yellow convention car is also spiking in price as well too. So again, kind of following that same time frame. I mean, this car was going for about $300 last fall. Towards the new year, it was about $400, $450, and the latest sell on this car was well over $600. So kind of how I see the price hierarchy right now, the purple is selling for about $200, the blue is selling for $400, and again, the yellow convention is selling for $600. So the current price differences between the purple, the blue, and the yellow R34s right now, I will honestly tell you guys, I don't agree with it. They're evenly split up by about $200 right now, but if you look at the production quantities, this yellow one is at 5,000, which is less than half of what the blue R34 is. So from a production quantity standpoint alone, I feel like the yellow convention should be a lot more. I mean, I would say that it should probably be like $300 or $400 more than the blue RLC. And then I don't have the purple R34. That was the membership car. back in 2019, but that one is unlimited. It doesn't have a production number tied to it. So we don't know how many of those there are even out there. And I don't understand how that one is at $200. If I were to say a car was overvalued, I would say the purple R34 is overvalued because people clearly just want it because they're not willing to pay for or don't want to pay for the blue R34 or the yellow R34. So I will say that it feels like as collectors we created this false value on the purple R34 and just allowed the value of it to climb along with the blue and the yellow R34s. But again, production quantities are unlimited, so it shouldn't be increasing in value like these two here. So let's talk about why this car is gaining so much momentum in value and in popularity. So if you think about the actual car, it was released in the late 90s, around 97, 98, in Japan as well as other overseas countries. We never got it here in the United States. And that's a big reason why there's such a delayed interest in this car is I feel like the US market, the majority, right? A lot of folks who weren't into JDM back in the 90s and the early 2000s, they're just starting to learn about this car and how awesome it was. And YouTube is great because now we get to see all these exhaust clips and POVs and all these different companies modifying them and doing crazy things with them, right? So again, it's taken this long, almost 25 years for this car to grow to the level of popularity that it has. And to be perfectly honest, this popularity for this car, this interest, this love for this car has been there all along, but just on the other side of the world. Another thing that really adds to the interest in this car, you can't deny it, it's Fast and Furious, it's Paul Walker, it's seeing this car in a number of the 9 Fast and Furious movies, and anticipation that it'll probably be in number 10 of the Fast and Furious saga as well too. And the last thing I'll say about the Nissan Skyline R34 is that there is again high anticipation because in 2023 this car will be US legal based on the 25-year import law. So I'm not saying this car is just going to be a common car and it's going to be seen on the road and every car show. I still think there's going to be a high level of exclusivity with this car because I'm sure it's not going to be easy to get one. I'm sure the line is a mile long, maybe even 2 miles long to get this car. And I'm sure the price tag on this will be well in the $100,000 range. But I think just the fact that this car will be legal and we'll see it more than now on the streets, the anticipation of having this car in at least a 1/64 scale and being one of the more exclusive releases from Hot Wheels just adds to the interest of this car. So where do we feel like this blue R34 RLC release is going to go from a value standpoint? I like to compare it to the Datsun 510 and the whole situation back in 2017, 2018. That's the time frame that I think the 510 really took off from a value standpoint, from just a popularity standpoint and being sought after from all the collectors. I feel like that same scenario is happening now with the R34. The one comparable car that I would say this R34 is the most like is the RLC BRE 510. So I know what you're thinking, production quantities are completely different. This blue R34 is 12,500, whereas the BRE 510 from RLC was only 3,000. But you got to recall that different times had different amounts of members actually collecting and in the RLC club. But what I'm getting at is that back then, 2017, 2018, that RLC BRE was around that $400, $500 range. Fast forward to today, 2020, 4 years later, that car is now $1,000. That's the last sold on eBay. So am I saying that the blue R34 is going to go to $800 to $1,000, essentially doubling in value in the next 4 years? That's my prediction. My thought is that this car will definitely continue to grow in value. I don't think $800 to $1,000 is out of the question. So I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a wizard, I don't have a crystal ball, and I cannot tell the future. So do your own research before you start investing in this blue R34. It could potentially go up, it could stay stagnant, I could be completely wrong. But if you look at trends, if you look at other cars in the past that this is comparable to, that's the direction that I think this is going. It's going in that upwards trajectory. So that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know if you agree or disagree down below in the comments. Also, let me know what R34s you have. If you have mainlines, premiums, RLCs, conventions, and what you think the values are going to be moving forward. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.